Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Mow 'em Down training with the Saibaimen event and basically discuss how you can complete all the missions free to play and of course as easy as possible. Now there are a couple things you're going to need here if you want to do it free to play. Ideally, so firstly, if you don't want to solve it free to play, focus on having all-out attacks. It's the number one most important thing. Make sure that you have units that can do all-out attacks. The best ones are going to be units like Physical Broly, Tech, Giant Ape Vegeta, Strength Broly, and generally speaking these units will be your top tier picks. Secondly, as well, make sure you put them under the highest lead possible. Make sure you have at least 2 of them so that you can run 1 on each rotation, and make sure you have a lot of support. Secondly, in terms of items, 2 of these items will be consistent throughout any of your runs, so those are going to be the Bulma items, but you can also use what I'm using here, like Takoyaki or the Tabura cookie, to augment your damage dealers at certain points, which we'll discuss later on. Ideally also look to take longer lasting, kind of flat buff support memories, so anything that's like a permanent buff, even if it's just 10%, it still matters. Now, basically, in terms of this team build, there's a couple things you have to do. So firstly, you have to have the Tech Vegeta in turn 1, and you have to have the physical second form Frieza in turn 2. If your second form Frieza is not at level 10 Big Bad Bosses, then you need to hit the damage pads, 2 of them, so that you can have them at Big Bad Bosses throughout the duration of the fight. It's very, very important. Now, throughout the fight, there's not too much that you need to do. So firstly, set up your rotations. We need to have Strength Prime Battle Frieza alongside the Physical Frieza, and we need to have the Tech Giant Ape Vegeta alongside the AGL Super Strike Vegeta. That's going to be the number 1 prerogative here. Once you have achieved that, you float the rest as supports, and everything runs pretty smoothly. You can adjust this team as you wish. If you have the ability to run 2 Tech Vegetas, please do so. It is vastly easier for you. Now, in terms of items, we're going to activate the 5-turn 25% Bulma buff immediately. So upon turn 1, you're going to activate it. You only need to get through 9 phases of combat to achieve all of the missions. So Bulma is more than fine to be activated straight away. Immediately upon her expiry, you're going to activate the other one. Secondly, what you need to focus on is obviously the timing of a lot of the other items. Now there are some crucial turns. Turn 6, turn 8, and turn 9 are all incredibly crucial. One thing you have to do while you're going through the event is ensuring that you collect enough orbs to get your Dokkan attack on turn 8. We do not need the Dokkan attack on turn 9, we need it on turn 8. The second form Frieza's AoE capabilities will cap out at turn 6. So even if he gets to turn 8 and you get a double super attack and they both crit and you have a support and you have Big Bad Bosses active, the chances of him eliminating the turn is a very minimal, and that's a best case scenario. So what you need to do is you need to get the Dokkan attack with the Prime Battle Frieza in the first slot. Remember, Dokkan attacks convert the damage into an AoE effect and guarantee a crit. So the first form Frieza will be able to do enough damage. So that's a very, very crucial step. So while you are going through the event, manage those orbs. It's an incredibly crucial step into making sure that you can get past turn 8. The rest is not too bad. The turns that Vegeta is on is not too difficult. Everything up to turn 5 is pretty much on autopilot. Once you get past turn 5, you activate the Bulma buff that lasts for 2 turns. You can also replace her with type buffs. If you don't have Big Bad Bosses at level 10 links on the second form Frieza, replace the Bulma heal buff with 25% boost with a 30% physical buff. Vegeta will still have enough damage to get through his turns. However, the first form Frieza, the second form Frieza will not. He's not going to have enough damage to get through his turns if you don't have that extra buff. So yeah, basically turn 6 is kind of the first crunch point. At turn 6 you need to essentially have Physical Frieza take out the whole rotation. You're going to need a double super attack, it's unavoidable, or a crit on one super attack on each unit. Have the Strength Frieza from turn 6 onwards target the Strength Saibaimen. That is the one that will always remain alive, and you don't want to lose out on the big damage that Strength Frieza can provide there. On turn 7, you're fine to just auto it through. You don't need anything, all you need is to ensure that Vegeta can get his 18 key. Once you've done that, you'll be fine. Vegeta can get hit at this point, they always place an attack first, this will augment his damage enough. He will still clear rotation on turn 7, just with the Bulma items active. We don't need to invest into him anything or prioritize anything. At this point, it's also a good time to try and line up your orbs. This is like your last chance to really push yourself towards the orbs or to limit your orbs, so you're going to need to take it. When you get to this turn, it is vitally important that you have enough ki for Frieza to get his 18 ki. He doesn't require much, but you're going to need to guarantee that he can get it. Once you've done that, you can activate the Deborah Cookie item, and then you can set yourself up with the orbs for Second Form Frieza. Second Form Frieza does need quite a few orbs, but the actual main purpose of the orbs is to guarantee the Dokkan attack for First Form Frieza. First Form Frieza will clear the board with the Dokkan attack. You don't need to actually have Second Form Frieza do a follow-up. So in that regard, you could replace the Deborah Cookie item with a Strength item and instead boost the damage of the First Form Frieza. That is also acceptable. I just like to do the Second Form Frieza because in case First Form Frieza doesn't clear for some reason, you then have a backup AoE attack. But it's up to you on what you want to back or support. As long as you get the Dokkan attack, you will clear this stage more than fine. So what that leaves is that leaves us with Vegeta in stage 9. This is crucial because Vegeta in stage 9 is the only way we're going to be able to beat it free to play. Here we're going to use the Takoyaki item and guarantee that we get as many orbs as possible. He doesn't need a full field, but a full field is obviously best. I would say 20 plus orbs is where you need to aim. Vegeta needs an attack stat of around 12.5 million on his 18 key, depending on obviously if he crits or not, etc. With the AGL Vegeta and the whatever support units on the rotation, you need to target the Int Kuruman because he needs to be defeated. If he doesn't get critted by Vegeta, there is a chance that he won't be knocked out, so you will need that extra damage there. And that's that. Now that you've cleared 9 phases, you've completed all the missions. Although the event does continue, which you can challenge yourself, pretty fun, you don't need to actually defeat these stages. You can leave at this point. You've achieved all of the missions, so just kind of let yourself get knocked out and you're done. You're ready to go. You're basically, you've completed all, you've got all the stones, you've got all the EX orbs, you've got everything you need. So at this point you will be done. The challenges for things like attack damage and that will have been completed via the Dokkan attack and by Vegeta. So you'll be sitting in a pretty good position. That's really it. If you are struggling, replace Second Form Frieza. He is the most inconsistent aspect of this team. If you have Tech Giant Ape Vegeta, use him. Very much more ideal as a unit, and yeah, it doesn't rely on big bad bosses, which is quite clutch for you. The strategy remains mostly the same, just you will have to think of a way to boost Vegeta outside of using the Deborah Cookie and the Takoyaki. That's realistically it. Nothing too crazy, missions all done. Took a couple attempts. The main thing is lining up the characters to fill out the turns. That's the number one thing. And turn 6 will require you to obviously get that little bit of RNG. So look at equipment. It's very helpful to add a bit of extra crit or extra additional to that Frieza second form. Bye.